So what if I told you that up to 50% of all cancer cases and deaths are preventable? And look, that's not some, fringe theory. No, that's according to research published by the American Cancer Society. Yet, where is the conversation? We're just flooded with news about these multi-billion-dollar treatments, but the powerful, scientifically proven prevention strategies, they're often left in the shadows. So we've dug into the latest research, the kind that doesn't always make the headlines. In this video, I'm going to give you 8 powerful, evidence-based methods you can start using, literally today, to drastically lower your cancer risk. And these aren't just ideas, they are actionable steps. Stay with me, because the 7th method we'll discuss, it involves a completely free nightly habit that activates your body's most potent defense system against rogue cells. You really cannot afford to miss it. Let's begin. Okay, so the first and, arguably the most powerful tool you have is your fork. This is strategy number 1. Adopt a radically anti-inflammatory diet. I want you to think of chronic inflammation like a slow-burning fire inside your body. It's not the acute inflammation you get from a cut, but a persistent low-grade irritation that over time damages your cell's DNA. This damage, well, that's a primary pathway to cancer. So how do you put out the fire? Simple. You stop throwing fuel on it. And the pro-inflammatory foods, they're the ones you already suspect, right? We're talking ultra-processed snacks, sugary drinks, excessive red and processed meats. They are the fuel. The water, the fire extinguisher, is a diet rich in whole plant-based foods. This is about eating the rainbow, and that's not just a cute phrase. A 2019 study in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism highlighted that the pigments giving fruits and vegetables their color, that deep red of beets, the bright orange of carrots, the rich green of spinach, are powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. They're your cellular bodyguards. But here's a detail that often gets missed. Some of the most potent cancer fighters are found right in your spice rack. I'm talking about turmeric. Its active compound, curcumin, is an absolute powerhouse. Recent studies in 2024 and 2025 have reaffirmed its ability to interfere with multiple stages of cancer development in lab settings. It's so powerful, researchers are actually studying it as an adjunct to conventional therapy. So just add a teaspoon of turmeric to your smoothie or curry. It's a simple but profound act of prevention. This leads us right to strategy number 2, strategic movement, not just intense exercise. For years, we've been told to hit the gym, push ourselves to exhaustion. And yeah, high-intensity exercise is great, but the latest research brings some incredibly good news for those of us who don't love spending hours at the gym. A landmark study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine in early 2025 has completely turned our understanding of activity on its head. Researchers gave over 85,000 adults wrist accelerometers to track their actual movement, not just what they said they did. And the results, they were stunning. People with the highest amount of total daily physical activity, and this includes light intensity stuff like washing dishes, walking to the mailbox, doing errands, they had a 26% lower risk of developing cancer than the most sedentary people. But here's the truly amazing part. The study looked at daily step counts. Compared to taking 5,000 steps a day, just hitting 9,000 steps was associated with a 16% lower risk of cancer. And the pace didn't matter. It was the consistency, not the intensity. The takeaway here is revolutionary, really. Stop thinking you need to be an athlete. Just be a mover. Park further away, take the stairs, walk while you're on a phone call. It all adds up to a powerful cancer-preventing prescription. Now for our third point. This is a concept that actually won the Nobel Prize, and it's one of the most exciting frontiers in longevity and disease prevention. This is strategy number 3. Activate autophagy with intermittent fasting. So what is autophagy? In Greek, it means self-eating. Think of it as your body's internal, highly intelligent recycling and quality control program. Throughout the day, your cells accumulate junk, misfolded proteins, damaged mitochondria, other waste. If this junk builds up, it can lead to mutations and, eventually cancer. When you fast, you temporarily restrict the influx of nutrients. This sends a signal to your cells, hey, resources are scarce, time to clean house. The cells then initiate autophagy, creating these membranes that hunt down, engulf, and break down the cellular garbage, turning it into raw materials for repair. It's your body's ultimate deep clean, and it can eliminate precancerous cells before they ever get a foothold. You might be thinking this sounds extreme, but it's not. A compelling 2025 study highlighted by sharingandcaring.org found that breast cancer survivors who fasted for just 13 or more hours overnight had a staggering 36% lower risk of recurrence. What does a 13-hour fast look like? It's as simple as finishing dinner at 7 p.m. and not eating again until 8 a.m. the next morning. You're literally fighting cancer in your sleep. Okay, so we've covered some incredible ground so far. We've talked about fighting inflammation with food, the surprising power of simple movement, and turning on your body's cellular cleanup crew. And if you're finding this information valuable, if it's empowering you to, take back control of your health, do me one small favor. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. It costs you nothing, but it sends a powerful message to the platforms that this is the kind of life-changing information people need to see. It helps us get this out to more people. Thank you for that. Now, let's move to strategy number 4, harnessing specific phytonutrients. This goes so much deeper than just eating your veggies. This is about understanding that some plants contain compounds that act almost like targeted drugs. Let's start with a cruciferous vegetable superstar, broccoli, or more specifically, broccoli sprouts. They contain an insanely high concentration of a compound called sulforaphane. So how does it work? Well, in lab studies, sulforaphane does 2 incredible things. It helps detoxify carcinogens you're exposed to, and it inhibits something called HDACs, enzymes that allow cancer cells to proliferate. It's like having a security guard that both escorts intruders out and at the same time removes the on switch for the cancer cell copying machine. Amazing. Next up, back to spices. We mentioned turmeric, and it's so important it deserves a second look. The National Cancer Institute itself has a detailed fact sheet on curcumin, noting its potential in preclinical studies to kill cancer cells and slow tumor growth. The key, though, is absorption. To biohack your turmeric, always consume it with a pinch of black pepper. The piperine in pepper can increase curcumin's bioavailability by up to 2,000%. Wow! One more, tomatoes. But here's the twist. The powerful antioxidant lycopene in tomatoes actually becomes more bioavailable when they're cooked. So a healthy tomato sauce or paste can be an even more potent cancer fighter than a raw tomato. Let's move from the farm to within. Strategy number 5, optimize your gut microbiome. You have an ecosystem of around 38 trillion bacteria, fungi, and viruses living in your gut. This is your microbiome. For too long, we've thought of bacteria as enemies, but these are our allies. This internal garden helps digest food, synthesize vitamins, and most critically, it regulates up to 70% of your immune system. When your gut is dominated by beneficial bacteria, your immune system is well-trained, vigilant, ready to attack rogue cells. But when it's overrun by harmful bacteria, often from a diet high in sugar and processed foods, it creates chronic inflammation and a weak, confused immune response. So how do you cultivate a healthy gut? Well, the number one way is through dietary fiber from a wide variety of plants. Think of fiber as the fertilizer for your good gut bugs. The second is to introduce reinforcements through fermented foods, things like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, and plain yogurt. These are natural probiotics that seed your gut with beneficial strains. A healthy gut is a cornerstone of a cancer-resistant body.
Now, let's talk about what's around us. Strategy number 6, minimizing your exposure to environmental toxins. This is a profoundly unsettling, but it's a vital area. We are living in a chemical soup. A 2024 report from the Silent Spring Institute identified over 900 common chemicals in our environment, from cosmetics to food packaging, that have the potential to increase breast cancer risk. 2 big offenders are BPA, which is found in some plastics and can linings, and PFAS, the so-called forever chemicals you find in nonstick cookware, stain-resistant fabrics, even some tap water. These are endocrine disruptors. That means they can mimic hormones like estrogen and fuel the growth of hormone-sensitive cancers. Now, this can feel overwhelming, but you can take back control. Start with simple swaps. Ditch plastic food containers, especially for heating food, and use glass or stainless steel instead. Filter your drinking water. Choose cast iron or stainless steel cookware over non-stick. Every single exposure you reduce lowers your cumulative lifetime burden. This brings us to our most underrated health habit, the one I promised you at the start. Strategy number 7, prioritize sleep for cellular repair. If you believe sleep is a luxury, this is going to change your mind. Sleep is a non-negotiable biological necessity for cancer prevention. During the deep stages of sleep, 2 magical things happen. First, your brain's glymphatic system activates and it flushes out metabolic waste that accumulated during the day. Second, and most importantly for us, your immune system goes into overdrive. Your natural killer cells, or NK cells, they're your body's elite cancer surveillance team. Their job is to patrol your body and eliminate infected or cancerous cells. And guess when they are most active? During your sleep. A single night of poor sleep can dramatically reduce the activity of your NK cells the very next day. Chronic sleep deprivation, it's like telling your body's best soldiers to take a permanent vacation. Furthermore, sleep is when your body produces melatonin, a hormone that not only makes you sleepy, but is also a powerful antioxidant with cancer properties. The goal isn't just 7 to 9 hours, it's about consistency. Going to bed and waking up around the same time reinforces your natural circadian rhythm, optimizing all these vital repair processes. It is the most powerful free therapy available. Finally, we arrive at an invisible force that can make or break your health. Strategy number 8, manage your chronic stress. Look, everyone has stress. It's a part of modern life, but it's the chronic, unmanaged stress that becomes a problem for cancer risk. When you're constantly in a state of fight or flight, your body is flooded with the stress hormone cortisol. In the short term, cortisol is helpful, but long term, it's a disaster. It actively suppresses your immune system. It has to. Your body thinks it's running from a tiger and can't waste energy on immune surveillance. Chronic cortisol also fuels inflammation and can promote angiogenesis, which is the growth of new blood vessels that tumors need to grow. So what's the solution? It's not to live in a bubble. It's to build resilience and actively trigger your body's rest and digest response. This can be as simple as 10 minutes of daily mindfulness meditation, which has been proven to lower cortisol, or a walk in nature, a practice the Japanese call Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, which studies show reduces stress and boosts NK cell activity. Find what works for you: yoga, deep breathing, a hobby, and practice it religiously. So, there you have it. 8 incredibly powerful, science-backed strategies that you can start implementing today. To recap, we've discussed fighting cancer at its root with an anti-inflammatory diet, the profound benefit of simple daily movement, activating your body's cellular cleanup crew through intermittent fasting. We've explored targeted phytonutrients, the critical role of your gut health, minimizing environmental toxins, prioritizing sleep as a non-negotiable therapy, and managing chronic stress. These aren't secrets because they are ineffective. They're often overlooked because they're simple, they're cheap, and they put the power squarely back in your hands. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 8 strategies was the most surprising or impactful for you? Which one are you most motivated to try first? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I really do read as many as I can. Thank you for investing this time in your health. It is your most valuable asset. Protect it. Until next time, be well. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. If you knew that simple, daily choices could be as powerful as any medicine in preventing disease, how would that change the way you plan your day tomorrow?